Super focus on the definition for form.
Form. Circle the definition. And then read out loud along with me. Ready, go. An element of art similar to shape, but encloses 3 dimensions. 3D. Height, width, and depth. Now I want you to put one hand above the other, like this, and say height. Side by side and say width. And then front to back and say depth. Follow along. Height, width, depth, height, width, depth, height, depth, height, depth, height, width, depth, height, depth, height, width. Very good, gracias. We're going to draw these forms. They're similar shapes. You're going to use lines and shapes to make them, but they are not shapes. They are forms because they give the illusion of depth. So the first one is a transparent cube. I'm going to show you several examples. This one is correct. The one that is in black. The one that is in hot pink, no. That is not correct. This one is not correct because, think about it, it has a line going right through there. This one is not parallel. These lines are diagonal. They are not parallel to each other. And I'll show you how to put this together. And these two, look at them. What do you think? These two are missing lines. They're missing diagonal lines. So let's do that together. Follow along actually first. Watch first. In the first space, you're going to do a square. Draw a square very geometrically. Go ahead and draw your square. Don't draw too small. You don't want to draw too big either. Right about that size. Then put a dot right in the middle, like that. Now you're going to make another square. This square is going to be parallel to the first square. This horizontal line is parallel to this horizontal line. This horizontal line, this horizontal line, and this horizontal line, and I'll say that 3 times fast, are all parallel. The vertical lines are also all parallel. Then you're going to make four diagonal parallel lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it one more time on this piece of paper to show you. If you need to see it again, watch. If you do not need to see it again, then do it. And start with a square. Put a dot in the middle. Make another square that is parallel to the first one. Then I'm going to make 4 parallel diagonal lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next one is an opaque cube. The opaque cube you cannot see through. This one is correct. This one's good. These, no. These are no boxes. No. So let's look at that. You're going to start with a square. Make it as geometric as possible. Sharp corners. Go ahead and make your square. Then you're going to make 3 diagonal parallel lines. You need to try to make all 3 of these about the same length. 1, 2, 3. About the same length. You are using a pencil, so if you make a mistake, fix it. Then you're going to make a vertical line here parallel to this line. Go ahead and make your vertical parallel line. That's the most common mistake, is people make that middle line too long, and then that line, this vertical line here, they make it diagonal. So if you make it diagonal, fix it. This line, this horizontal line here, you're going to make a parallel line right there. Okay, I'm going to show you that again on this page. Notice this one is organic. This is not even geometric. This one, the center line is way too long. And this one has a horizontal line here. It needs to be 3 parallel lines. There you go. Alright, so you make a square and then 3 parallel diagonal lines, and then a vertical line that's parallel to this one, a horizontal line which is parallel to this one. Cube. Next is a sphere, a transparent sphere. Start with making a circle. Make it as big as you can in that space. Make your circle. Then you're going to make a vertical curved line. A solid vertical curved line. Then you're going to curve the opposite direction and make a dotted curved line. Then make a horizontal curved line. This one is convex. Then you're going to make a concave, which comes down, dips down, it's a smile. Convex is a frown, concave is a smile. This one's going to be a concave dotted or dashed line. So let's look at these examples here, and I'm going to do that one again for you. Okay, super focus up, please. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I did that out of order this time. This one is correct. These are not. This one doesn't have the dotted lines, so it just looks like a shape. It just looks like a shape. It doesn't give the illusion. Plus, it goes outside the lines. This one is just solid. No dotted lines. This one only has vertical curved lines. This one only has horizontal curved lines. This one goes way outside the edge. Everything else is correct. This one, the space between here and here is too wide. It needs to be touching where those meet. That's too wide. And this one just looks like a pizza. It doesn't even have any illusion of a sphere. That's like the worst example of a try of a sphere at all. Yeah. So, start with a circle. You can go ahead and do this now. You can watch along. I'll do it a couple of times. Then you make a vertical curved line. And you're going to make another vertical curved line, but this one's going to be dotted or dashed, and it's going to connect to the first line that you made. Now notice I made the dots on the left this time, and on the right this time. It doesn't really matter which direction you make them. The next one is a horizontal curved line. This one is convex. Then a dotted curved line, which is concave. And there you go. One more time. Next one is an opaque sphere. Now with the opaque sphere, we're going to use a value scale. You're going to shade it in like we did the value scale. So this one is correct. Has curved lines. This is your light source up here. So this would be the highest key value. This is the white. And then it gradually gets darker and it's very dark at the edge. Notice it doesn't go outside of the sphere to create the illusion. It has to stay inside the sphere. This one has straight lines. These have to be curved lines. This one is shaded all the way across exactly the same. That doesn't do anything at all. And this one goes outside, so it really, I don't know, maybe kind of looks like a furry sphere. I don't know. But this, I would not give you credit for any of these three. So here is how we do that. I'm going to use a pencil this time. I want to make sure I start with a nice circle. Then I'm going to make curved lines, and I'm really going to make those curved. I'm just going to make 3 on this space. If I did a much larger one, I could do more. Then I'm going to shade this in really dark as I can get this. I think my table is going to shake while I do this. So, is it shaking? Yeah, it's totally shaking. I'm going to get that as dark as possible and really close to, like right on that line with the value. I use the tip of it so that I could press really hard. I'm going to use the side and shade that in. And then this is really lighter. And then nothing at all in that space there. Kind of shade it in a little bit, kind of blend it between those areas. And you have a solid opaque sphere. Okay, go ahead and do your own. I'm going to repeat that for you again on here. Make your curved lines. Start with a nice circle. If you want to start with a nice circle, take your time to make a nice circle to start with. And then shade it in, trying to keep that line as crisp as possible. And if you have a hard time with making that a crisp line, it's hand-eye coordination. It's the same thing as playing a video game. Your hand-eye coordination gets stronger the more you do it. So if you're like, oh, my little finger, I can't do it. First of all, don't even bother saying I can't do this. That's not an option. Second of all, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So, if it is difficult, try harder, my darling. I like to use like little squiggles when I do round objects like this, creating chiaroscuro. Okay, complete your sphere. Okay, if you're not quite done with that sphere, I know that takes a little bit of finesse sometimes. If you're not done with that, come back to that later. Super focus on the screen, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this one first, the opaque. So the opaque, you can't see through it. These 3 are correct, these 6 are incorrect. It doesn't matter what proportions you use with the cylinder. You can make it any size you want, any width, any height. Just make sure that you make your ellipsis at the top, make sure that that is curved, and then 2 parallel vertical lines and a curve at the bottom.